And good morning to my fellow CPAM members, Rick Schmiedenoff, our president, and Jeremy Huff, whose name's not up on the screen here. Let's see if we can get him up there so you
Oh
can see his.
no.
There he is. Jeremy's on board as well. We are going to be sharing with you information, our CPAM members and those who are looking toward coming to the conference 2022 in Traverse City, Michigan, with all of our CPAM members and a great conference that's been planned. We're going to start with our conference chair. Jeremy, give us an overview of the conference, all of the specifics. We've got that on screen. We'll do it again. But it's important for us to hear the logistics, the behind the scene, as well as those amazing presenters that will be coming to this year's conference. Jeremy, talk to us.
Well, it's for people that have been to the conference before. It's a similar format as we have been doing for years. It's not broke, so we're not going to try to fix anything with it. We'll start with our awards banquet on Tuesday, the 18th, like we normally do. We'll do awards, and then we'll have dinner as well. It's what would you call the clothing, Rick? For semi-formal, business casual. Is
Business
that what we
casual.
call it?
Yeah.
Business casual. There we go. So some people like to get dressed up, so it's kind of nice. It's a nice evening, and then we have a keynote speaker. This year, our keynote speaker is Patrick Mead. He's a pastor of Safe Harbor Church in Tennessee. So Patrick he spoke to us years ago at Park Place, when it was at Park Place several years ago, and he was great. He was very well received. Everybody loved listening to him. So he is going to be our keynote speaker for the Tuesday night banquet, and then he's going to start on Wednesday morning as well. So Patrick he talks a lot about different things, and he is very, very pro law enforcement, and it'll be a good speaker. I think everybody will really enjoy Patrick. He's got a great sense of humor, so he's very easy to listen to. He's very funny. He's just great to listen to. He's a great speaker. So I'm excited to hear him again as well. Yeah. Then we go after that. Mike Weering and Terry Bikart from To the Rescue. They're another thing. They're going to talk about career survival and emotional wellness, and that is obviously a big topic in law enforcement these days. And these guys do great. They're both our police officer for a very long time. One's retired, and one is currently a police officer in the city of Grand Rapids as well. So they do a lot of training around the state, and that'll be another good one to listen to. So day 2 of the conference, so that was Wednesday. So Pat Mead and To the Rescue, they do our Wednesday. They're at the Wednesday training, morning and afternoon session. And then on Thursday, we'll do understanding social media technology and how it affects today's youth. So that's Michigan State Police Internet Crimes Task Force. Somebody from that task force will be doing that. Again, another important topic that is today. So. It really is every single year. You could really talk about social media technology and how it's affecting youth and what there is and what's going on, and because everything changes so often, and what are the hot topic buttons. So they will talk to us and what the police officers can pass along to their communities and look for when they're doing their school visits and whatever else it might be, and whatever type of police officer you are for the city that you work in. And then in the afternoon, we have a couple different things going on. In the afternoon, we have Ring. They're going to talk about their Neighbors app. I'm assuming a lot of departments around will use the Neighbors app and Ring cameras for different things. Probably across the country, I would assume. We use it a lot in the Grand Rapids area, and I'm assuming everybody else does around the country as well. So that'll be good to listen to. The speaker will come in. The Ring is also sponsoring our banquet dinner as well. So there'll be a banquet sponsor for the dinner, and that'll be very helpful. They're very generous, and they'll speak for that. And then we have West Michigan Glass Coatings. They're going to come, and they're going to just do a quick talk about some of the products today that for some of our crime prevention things that we can pass along to schools, and so maybe some worked into SEPTED and some access control things, and what they can do with glass coatings and different security films and different types of glasses and things like that. Just kind of let us know what's out there and what they can, what companies can offer these days, how it works. And so that'll be interesting to listen to as well. A lot of us dealt with that with some of the civil unrest over the past few years and a lot of broken windows and
Yeah.
things like that. And they can kind of show what is helpful and what will work and what won't work, and to up to a certain point. So that'll be interesting to listen to as well.
Mm-hmm.
So then we'll end the day with from the school, our Office of School Safety, and how it can make schools safer. So that's from the Michigan State Police. Kim Root from the Michigan State Police is going to talk about that as well. Again, another school safety these days is just a nonstop.
Priority one.
You just can't
Yes,
you
it
can't
is. Priority
not
one.
talk enough about it,
Right. Right.
and learn from others and learn from what's been going on in different places and different solutions and ideas, and I guess maybe not solutions, but different ideas and from other places. So Kim Root is going to talk about that. And back on top of kind of more of the SEPTED things and listening to some of the crime prevention stuff, we're going to end the day with Ben Rydell from Electromagnetic Visual. He did one of our quarterly trainings and talking about different lightings and LED security lightings and trends and how it can help with some of us that do our SEPTED plans and throughout our communities, and different lighting aspects, and just kind of touch on some of those things. So.
Excellent. Because that leads right into all of the security surveys and everything we're doing business-wise, schools across the board. Yeah.
Right.
Should be good.
Right. Yes. So that's a quick little overview of what we got coming on.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, we'll have our, it's really, the conference is going to be run as typically like we've done it for over the years.
Mm-hmm.
There's some staff changes and transition with the board and some of our previous members. So we're kind of working through that as well.
Well, Sandy was a stronghold.
Oh, Sandy
was amazing. She did just an amazing
just a ton
job
of
for
work.
many years coordinating the conferences.
She did great.
Yes.
She did a great job.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't call myself a conference chair either. I'm just one of the not many people of, because I don't want to try to live up to what Sandy did, because I cannot do that. So Sandy was amazing. So yeah, I'm just one of the ones that are kind of putting it together.
Mm-hmm. So also the important part about for members, for law enforcement, for training purposes, for MCOs, everybody who is coming, these training hours, these workshop hours will go toward MCOs again, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's in the works, so we can maintain our status as MCOL certified for those agencies that use MCOL dollars for that.
Excellent. So the other thing that's really important that we've done historically, when we look at the current conference that's being planned, we also look at what we just completed, 2021. For those who did not attend, if you go to the CPAM blog, and you will see that in the various screens, the blog QR code will take you to a review of all of the workshops and what happened in 2021, as well as interviews with the speakers. And we're going to do that again this year for the blog and get their perspective of how we are hearing the information in the workshops, but also bringing it back to our communities. And what I've always shared with members across the state and law enforcement officials, this is a networking opportunity like none other. With community policing coming back, and those individuals for the agencies who are seeing this interview and hearing about the conference that may not have attended in the past. This networking and camaraderie is so important to those involved in community policing and school resource officers, those doing everything that's connected to community. We micro it and then macro it out so that everybody can be able to get information and take it back to their respective communities. So, Jeremy, I know you're going to have to leave shortly. Other things as far as tips with the preparation for our location for the conference. We'll be back again at Park Place. Tell us about registration in advance, those things that are important for everybody to do prior to the conference.
So if you're on our CPAM's email list, you will have gotten emails, and we just sent it out again earlier today, and we added the QR code, Richie, that you made for us. So that is helpful. So do that as soon as you can. If you don't do it, we have a deadline of September 17th at this point for our room bookings, for the room rate that we negotiated, which is much cheaper than what it will be later on. So We're trying to get that extended, but I don't know if, it's a contractual thing, so I don't know if we'll be
Gotcha.
able to do that or not.
Gotcha.
However, so the sooner the better to book the rooms, even if you have to cancel them. I think, I don't check with I don't know if there's a cancellation fee or whatever it is, but if you're going to do it and you're waiting on your department to approve it, I would book the rooms as long as there's no cancellation fee. And I wish I knew the answer to that, but I don't know that.
I'm sure we can get that we can get it to put it up on the blog or with our website. Just at the point of reference, our website's being rebuilt right now for those who are watching, and it's coming soon. So if you check the blog, you can also get information. I'm trying to keep up with everything that we're putting out to also post on the blog. For those who are asking about a website, where can we get information on it? We'll be posting it out on the blog as well.
Right,
so, Rick,
and that.
Go ahead, Rick.
Just heard back today that should be operational next week.
Fantastic.
So we will keep you posted, and you can keep our viewers posted as well.
Excellent. So, Jeremy, last words for you, because I know you've got to run shortly. Anything else you want us to know about the conference, things that's important as we prepare to register, get information, dietary needs? I know all of that's important for those who have dietary needs and issues, things that are going on with them personally for food that will be offered, as well as Traverse City's got so many great places to go out and dine. It is just amazing.
That's why we like the Park Place so much, is because it's first of all, the parking's great. It's, starting off, the parking is great. There's plenty of parking at the Park Place, which is very nice, because sometimes that doesn't happen in hotels. And in the downtown area, there's just it's pretty busy down there, but it's in walking distance to everything: restaurants, dinner, places that you want to visit later in the evening, whatever it is. You really don't have to. If you don't want to, you're not going to need your car once you get there, because everything is right there. That's why we like Park Place so much. On site food, there's restaurants on site, and we like the downtown Traverse City area because there's so many things to do for really everybody. So.
Yes, amazing. It's such a beautiful place to come and conference, and it's so important for us as we network with each other. I think for me, every year, just to catch up with fellow crime prevention practitioners, sharing information about what's going on, things that we can, as far as we say, don't reinvent the wheel. For those newcomers, we've got folks who have done a lot of these crime prevention initiatives yearly and over. I look at the calendar. For me, this is my 32nd year with our agency, and the things that we started with hard copies delivering to now electronically being able to reach thousands of people with a few clicks. So this time change, this technology that's important for us to learn the nuances, because our community is learning it, and we have to be able to keep up with it.
Absolutely. Things have definitely evolved over the last, even the 25 years that I've been around. It's they have evolved a lot from the times that what we used to do.
Absolutely. All right, sir. I know that you got to run.
Yes, I got to go. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Rick. Thanks for everything. And we will talk to you very soon. Rishi, thank you for everything.
You're very welcome, sir. We'll see you soon.
And hope to see everybody next month.
Sounds good. We'll see you.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye. So, Rick, talk to us, sir, about how important this role has been for you moving into the CPAM presidency this year, and the historical perspective of what it's been like to be a part of CPAM and then where you're at now.
Yeah, I've been with CPAM. I've been trying to figure it out since, and best I can determine is 1983. My first conference in Traverse City was 1984. I've served various capacities with the board. I was on the board when we hosted a international, the International Society of Crime Prevention Practitioners Conference in Detroit in 1988. And for some of you, that's a lifetime ago.
Yeah, that was a great meeting, though. I remember the Canadian connection was fantastic.
And it's been a great part of my career. And Richie's right that there's nobody in crime prevention reinvents the wheel. We beg and borrow from other departments, and all the ideas that I've been very successful with at two different agencies in Southwest Michigan over 42 years have not been original thoughts. They've
Mm-hmm.
been borrowed from other departments. We've learned from examples from various tragedies um, as far as school safety goes. Um, and we've and that's true of most crime prevention practitioners. As they hear something that's going on in another community,
Yep.
they will make it fit. And so that's why the interaction, the meetings after the meetings, the
Yes. Yes.
social interaction at dinner in the lobby, around the pool, um, it all, you can benefit so much. And I would always give credit when I would bring an idea back to one of my agencies and say, this is what I learned by being able to attend. If not saying that directly, saying it indirectly. And that would help me get back year after year after year. So I
Yep.
would bring ideas that would work, that worked in other places, adjust them for our community, and go forward.
Yeah, and that's been the mantra for all of us. And historically, when we go way back, because my first interaction and meeting was in Detroit back in 92, 91, 92. And Richard Nixon, who was a sergeant with the Detroit Police Department, was the president
Yeah.
at that time. And the networking with the Michigan State Police Crime Prevention Unit and the Detroit PD, which was really the catalyst of how CPAM evolved and
Right.
became an organization. And over the years, all of the newsletters and things that we've done, we have grown as the organization has grown, the technology has grown, the information sharing has grown. I would bring my PowerPoints on a zip drive to the conferences, and doing those after the sessions, I just have folks sum up, tell me what you want here. Don't reinvent the wheel. Take
Right.
Pittsville out, use it, as you need. And that worked out perfect. We were sharing, just sharing information and always giving credit to where we've got information as well as passing information on. And the national resources. I know that we have Ring coming again this year, or we're coming to the
Yes.
conference this year. They did that quarterly meeting, but Ring has been a big sponsor also of National Night Out.
Right.
And
That's
they're
right.
being very involved in the National Night Out initiative over the last several years with the National Association of Town Watch. And that has been one of the big events for all of us that has really been able to help galvanize what we do in the community from a crime prevention perspective. We've historically, and I know that you've worked with fire services, but our fire department open house represents, because we're a Department of Public Safety, fire prevention initiatives. And we were able to use National Night Out from a police perspective of coordinating and providing and sharing the wealth of information on crime prevention tips and resources for the community. And that's been really an amazing transition for us, as well as continued growth that we've seen for all of our departments. And even as we've had the shift, and maybe 8, 9 years ago, when community policing funds dried up, we lost a lot of members, but community
Yes.
policing is coming back. So for all of those agencies that might be seeing this information that we're presenting today, in addition to the conference, understand and know that these resources are available for you. And we want to agencies, and this has been a big part of your campaign, Rick, is to reach out to those agencies, particularly here in the southeast end of Michigan, that we had multiple agencies that were involved for years, that
Right.
because of the transition of retirements as well as downsizing, we've lost contact with those. So speak to that initiative that's important for you with expanding the footprint of CPAM once again.
We are truly a statewide group,
Mhm.
and we have had challenges over the years to get that recognition, not just from a standpoint of, hey, we are a statewide group, but to reach out to all areas of the state of Michigan, from the southeast Detroit metro area to the center of the state in Lansing, West Michigan, Northern Michigan, Upper Peninsula. Um, and I've seen in my years with this organization, I've seen the membership of not only the organization but the attendance at the conference dwindle in a lot of areas of the state. So we
Yes.
are wanting to get back. Part of that is being recognized. We have a good partnership with the um, Michigan Department of State Police to get their community service troopers involved. And from their involvement, we are hoping that this will spread to other agencies in the state. Even if you're a very small department. My 42 years come from working in very small agencies,
Hmm.
where I was sergeant of a shift. Also did crime prevention things uh, throughout the community and working in the school. So it was very challenging. CPAM helped me fill that gap. I didn't have to go out and do a lot of research. I could talk to some of our members, being blessed with able to go to the conferences, to
Hmm.
quarterly meetings, um, which just enhanced my department's abilities to reach out to um, its target populations. And we are we are trying by looking for people from different parts of the state to serve on our board of directors.
Hmm.
We're supposed to have like 10 people on the board from
Yeah.
various parts of the
Parts of the
state, and
state.
we
Yeah.
are under that. We are right now. There's a lot of Richie's our eastern
Yeah.
outpost in
Yeah.
in the southeast corner of the state,
Yeah.
as 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 uh, as my as I am in the southwest corner of the state. A lot of our members are the Grand Rapids area, Grand Rapids metro area, working over towards Lansing. So we're trying to use various formats to be able to get the word out
Hmm.
that hey, this is a group that can serve you. It just doesn't serve the area around Grand Rapids. It just doesn't serve Southwest Michigan. It just doesn't serve a particular part of the state that we want input. And we try and hold quarterly meetings, um, various parts of the state, recognizing where we get our best attendance. So that's usually, we always will at least include that in the mix. Our next quarterly meeting will be at the conference.
Hmm.
And so, and after that, we'll meet again in March, someplace around the state, to just touch base again with everybody. But
Yeah.
what we're sensitive to, and we're open to suggestions on how to reach uh, various areas of the state. Our organization is going through a leadership transition.
Hmm.
Um, and as some members, this is not personality based, and I don't want it to be
Correct.
personality based.
Right. We've always focused on the issues.
We are looking at trying to get a new level of leadership in, especially from those who have been in the business, say, less than 20 years, maybe even
Hmm.
less than 10 or 15 years, who feel a passion about what they're
Exactly.
doing, because that's the key. You've got to feel it here to be a very successful
Right.
crime prevention practitioner. It's more than just a job,
Yeah.
more than just a duty assignment or a assignment if you're in a neighborhood association and you're one of two or three staffers and they assign you to do a particular task. It's more than that. We are blessed with the vast majority of our members see it as a passion,
Yep.
and we just need to get that out to others.
Rick, and one of the things for me has always been my motto has been always been crime prevention is a way of life.
Yes.
And you work with it, you begin to mold it so that you can always at every level and all things that you do with the community share that passion with your residents and those who are in leaderships, particularly as we work with homeowners association and neighborhood watch groups, our school PTO groups that are reaching out for information and resources and conversations, and they will pick up on your sincereness about what crime prevention is. And that's what we've done in our community all of these years is to be there for them, to listen, but also to provide the resources. And that
Right.
has been the greatest asset for what we've been able to accomplish in my role with Pittsfield Township, with working with both police and fire, with coordinating our prevention programs. And I think for one of the things that maybe we can talk about this at the conference as well, we have all now become accustomed to Zoom meetings. And for those who can't get out, is to be able to offer some of our quarterly meetings and just resource informational meetings like what we're doing, to be able to post and invite people to come in to participate in those meetings from their offices. If they can't
Yes.
travel to the meetings, jump online, join the
Yes.
meeting with us from there. And I think if we can reach out to some of our police chiefs, I know at one time, and I actually really enjoyed. I did a presentation when I served in this role as president for 2 terms, presenting to the Michigan Chiefs of Police and engaging them in what we do. And that's a missing element that we're going to reacclimate, see if we can reach out to them, see if they can get what we're doing at the conference, hearing about what the mechanics are, but also how do you reach us? How do these things happen? How can they refer their members to our organization to be able to get the assistance, not only from law enforcement, but we've had security companies. We've had a number of different entities that's involved in this role of crime prevention and community outreach from a perspective of doing protection and awareness that have been a part of CPAM. We welcome all of those to come back. Yeah,
Yes.
welcome all to come back, be a part of what we're doing. So, Rick, the other thing that we want to talk about briefly is what else CPAM offers. I know that we have grants we have within our membership, which is $30 a year, which is very reasonable. That's been great to have that available. But the grants that are available for community projects, talk to us a little bit about that.
Right. I had before I took over as president, I was chair of the CPAM mini grant committee. That's something that we started several years ago to be able to return um, some of our dollars, and that we would have successful conferences and to provide a membership service. What do you get for $30 other than the ability to attend our quarterly meetings and be able to interact with fellow practitioners? What a mini grant does is it either you can use it as seed money, and they're good for up to $300. You can use it as seed money to start a new program, or you can use it to help keep funding existing programs. And sometimes that's what we see the most of. We budget for a certain amount of mini grants every year. We've never gotten close to that.
Mm-hmm.
I think this year uh, we've only had 3 or 4 applications, and our review team looks at those. If they have information that they need some more of, they will they will contact the person that is requesting the help. But they've all been funded to the tune of $300. I know my former department, which I just recently had to leave because of health reasons. They were just awarded a $300 mini grant, which they're going to use to offset the cost of coloring books, sticker badges. Other groups have used it to help with a week-long law enforcement academy for teens, which is a good opportunity for young people and law enforcement to come together. Neighborhood groups have used it to help support their National Night Out efforts, to help support Crime Prevention Month activities, in which October is National Crime
National
Prevention
Crime
Month.
Prevention Month. Yep.
And so whatever you do not have to be in law enforcement. You just have to be a CPAM member for 6 months. So if this is something that interests you, join us now. 6 months down the road, you can apply for up to a $300 mini grant. and that will help enhance or start what a project or program that you think will be very effective for your residents.
And
Again,
those grant applications and all of that information will be going up on the new website that'll
right,
be coming up
and
soon.
that will be back up and running, I'm told, next week.
Next week. That's great.
And we have our renewed Facebook page, if not up, will be up within the next, again, by that time, as well as our Instagram. We have a volunteer deputy from Kent County Sheriff's Department who is not even doing crime prevention things anymore, but she feels very strongly
Yeah.
about having us have a social media footprint. So she is working on that. We've redone our website, and we're very excited about that coming online next week.
Fantastic. Rick, it's been great to talk with both you and Jeremy. As we prepare to close, give us some closing comments here about, and as we prepare for the conference, but also crime prevention rolling forward as we move into the future this year and beyond, and why crime prevention practitioners and this type of training is so important, and the networking and camaraderie. Your comments on that, sir?
Networking is everything. Definition of crime prevention is the anticipation and recognition of a crime risk and the initiation of action to reduce or remove that risk. And as a crime prevention practitioner, part of being able to initiate action is developing a program, working with your community, whatever that looks like, being able to engage them to do neighborhood watch, to do residential security surveys, to make them feel comfortable just to call 911. And part of that is knowing what works around the state. And the best way I know to do that is to attend our conference. Use the QR code at the end of today's presentation. Register, become involved. You do not have to be if you're not a CPAM member right now, you can still attend. Yeah. Sign up. Attend the conference. If you think, hey, this group is going to help benefit our community, you can join at the conference. Not a problem. Anybody who joins in October, November, and December, your dues will be paid into next year. So one $30 check, but wait, there's more. Yeah. It will include all of 2023 if you join in October, November, or December. So something to think about. I appreciate this opportunity to plug CPAM. Absolutely. And to remind us all that this is through our fall training conference, you can really benefit your own communities.
Absolutely. Rick, this is so important for us, and we've been friends and worked together for many years with this initiatives, and with this initiative of CPAM, and the camaraderie has been just fantastic to work with you and all of our members on the west side of the state. And also in closing, there's two areas that I want to plug that all of us are working with, and that is two campaigns that are really important for all of our communities. And one with Homeland Security is See Something, Say Something. Yes. So important for us right now in our communities with everything that's going on. When community members see things on social media of threats or things that might come that would be a threat within the community, we need to know about that in the law enforcement community so that we can help protect all of our citizens. And for our students, the OK to Say campaign through the Attorney General's office is still in place. This can, as a continuum from, regardless of the person that's in the office, this program has been successful. And we are encouraging our students, because all of our schools are using the OK to Say campaign, the logos, the information, the tip lines. That is really important for us right now to really promote and share. And I'm sure we're going to hear information at the conference from our Michigan State Police partners on this. But this is something that we want all of our community members. We have information that we will be posting on the website as well as the blog about how the Michigan specific through Homeland Security. I got the permission which is every department has to notify or reach out to DHS, the Homeland Security offices, and they will confirm your role in law enforcement, and they will give you the link to all of the PDFs that you can personally create for your specific department. What we did with ours, we put all our Pittsfield Township information in, as well as photographs of our community members in our outreach. And every agency has access to doing that. The OK to Say campaign, they have flyers and information at the Attorney General's website that all of us can get access to provide in PDF and posters, information to get out to our schools, as well as in all presentations with our community members and our parents about these two important initiatives in our community.
Yep.
Rick, on behalf of everybody who's on board, thank you for volunteering to be a part of that role. I've been there, so I understand the challenge that's at hand. Last word, sir?
I just want to thank you, sir, for your involvement in CPAM over the years, for your guidance when you were served your terms as president, and for your continued role in interfacing with the legislature, with the latest trends, topics. I appreciate the support of Pittsfield Township to allow you to do this. And please join us in October in Traverse City. And Richie, I will see you there.
Yes,
friend.
sir. We'll be there. All right, my friend. All right. We'll see you soon. We're going to close it out here. We're going back through the information for all of those who are witnessing and seeing our program. Thank you again so much. I'll be in touch with you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.